Fenton and I'm an aeromodeller and an engineer. Join me on a fascinating journey where I show you some of the techniques used in scale aeromodelling. Hello again modelers, and welcome back to the channel. I'm going to continue with the Chipmunk control line trainer, although I'm having serious doubts as to whether I'll get it finished in time to actually make it worth doing when I really should be doing some other things. But I'm going to give it another few days just to see how far we get. I'm not going to cover the wings in balsa yet because I don't want to waste the balsa. It's going to take probably about 6 sheets of 16th to cover those wings, and I don't want to waste that if I can't get anywhere with the fuselage. I have some rather bonkers ideas with how I want to make a profile fuselage for this. Normally you would make it out of probably 1/2 inch by 1/4 or something, and you'd make the outline of the fuselage. It's a profile scale, and the fuselage can't be thicker than 3/4 inch. So what I'm thinking of doing, something a little bit different, and seeing as I've got this foam, is I'm going to make the fuselage out of a 1/2 inch thick piece of foam shaped to the fuselage. This is I've taken a copy of the plan and cut it out and put it on the foam, marked around it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut around it, but a 1/4 inch further inside, and then I'm going to outline the foam in 1/4 inch balsa to make an outer structure with a foam inner, and then I'm going to put a layer of 1/8 balsa on both sides, and that'll laminate the whole lot and make a really nice solid fuselage. Well, that's the hope. My only concern is the only glue I've really got to do this with is epoxy. I was going to use skinning epoxy for that, so I can put it on nice and thin, but I'm still a little nervous because it is quite heavy. But the tail's not very big, and as it's profile scale, the rear end could be a bit floppy, so perhaps the epoxy is a good move. I don't know. We'll see what it comes out with weight wise. So I'm not going to do anything fancy like a cockpit or anything like that. I'm just going to do a pure outline, and then the cockpit can be painted onto the profile model. It's not very scale, I know, I appreciate that, but we'll have a bit of fun with it as well. I have looked at the tailplane as well, and it is a profile section, so we might get the cutting gear out again and cut a tailplane. That would be fun. So so there you go. If you want to follow along, then terrific. I'm not sure whether the project will actually get finished, but we'll try a few things along the way. So even though a project doesn't reach the flying stage or doesn't get completed, it doesn't really matter too much, because we're exploring all sorts of new ideas and ways of doing things, and making a mess of things and finding out things we shouldn't do. So we'll keep going with this. What I've done at the moment is I've just snapped, I've scored it and snapped the foam into a smaller manageable section. What I've now got to figure out is how I can actually use the hot wire to make this 50mm thick foam down to about, I don't know, 12.5mm. So I think I'm going to use some blocks of wood along the side, 1/2 inch thick, or yeah, about 1/2 inch thick, and then lay some piano wire on it, and then use that as a guide to actually skim this to a thinner section. That's about the best I can come up with at the moment. Anyway, once I've had a bit more thinking and a cup of coffee and digest it, we'll come back and see what we've got up to. If this works, I will be quite amazed. I'm very conscious that I don't want to do any damage to the bow, so I'm not going to clamp the wire too well or too harshly. But what I've got here is a sort of I don't know what you'd call it, a planer thicknesser for foam. So I've taken a piece of wood, a piece of ply, and I've put 2 M6 bolts up through the bottom, and they're locked in place, and then 2 nuts on the top of that are adjustable, and then you see the bow is just resting on two blocks, and the wire is so that if the foam's pushing this way, it presses the wire against the post, and the nuts are just pinched gently, so I don't want to do any damage. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the power on at 3 amps, and then I'm just going to gently slide that under there. So fingers crossed, you never know, it might work. There again, it might not. We'll soon find out. Before I actually cut the actual piece, I'm going to cut a smaller scrap piece just to see if I can get it to work evenly. I need to find a way of putting some pressure on the top, so I'm going to have to do it with my hand, I think. But we'll give it a go. So we're just coming up to temperature. Sorry about the bleeping. Somebody mentioned that it made them think their fire alarm was going off, or their smoke detector or something. Sorry, it's me, and I can't silence it, I'm afraid. Right, we're up to 3 amps. Let's see how this goes. So I'm just going to put a little bit of pressure on it to keep it moving. I think pulling it would be better. It's possibly harder to do it smooth with a small piece than it will be with a bigger piece, but we'll see. And that's rocking slightly, which won't happen with the big piece. Every time I wobble it, it's going to leave a ripple. Now I think this is going to take quite some time to go down the full length of this strip on the actual one. It'd be interesting to see whether it's any faster cutting full width than just cutting a narrow strip. You'd think this would be faster, wouldn't you? But I guess it probably isn't. And there we go. So let's have a look. There's a few ripples here and there, but actually that's adequate, that's fine. So let's get the proper piece, get it all set up. These bits of wood just give me something to glide on because the wooden bit is slightly higher than the table. Right, I'm going to start from the nose, simply because there's about 2 inches at the nose that I don't really need. You know, that gets cut off, so I shan't worry about that too much. I'm going to reset it actually to 10 minutes. So I don't want this stopping halfway through. That would be a bit of a nuisance. Here we go. Fingers crossed. There we go, that's 3 amps. Now I want to try and avoid shuffling around too much. I want to do it in one foul swoop. So here goes. Seems to be working okay. Shouldn't really say that, should I? Anything's going to encourage it to go wrong. It's not sliding very well. I'm glad I increased it to 10 minutes. I have a friend that used to do this with Depron, and he'd start with sort of 4mm Depron and he'd cut 1mm strips. Lord knows how he did that. We're probably using a similar technique. Now I had wanted to make this much thicker, probably about 1.5 inches thick. That would give me a bit more substantial seat for the wing to sit on. Because one of the reasons I'm thinking, you know, I was toying with abandoning this little idea, was the model's too big to leave as a one-piece model, and that's what I was going to do. But when I actually thought about it, I thought, one-piece model, this big, 70-inch span? I won't be able to get it in the car, not in one piece. So I thought, the wing's going to have to come off. So the idea is that I put ply plates along the bottom of the profile fuselage to clamp the wing to, so that it's removable. So a wider fuselage would have been very useful. What I should have done is put some sellotape on that wood that I'm sliding along, because I think it's just sagging slightly. This is going to create little ripples. But I'm not too worried about the little ripples. I can at least sand this down a little bit. Nearly there. And there we go. Let's turn that off. Right, let's have a look, see what we've got. That's pretty flipping good, I think. Just a little ripple there, but I can't even hardly feel it. Little one at the end, but that's nothing much. So there we have a nice 1/2 inch thick piece of styrofoam. So now all I've got to do is cut around the outline of that fuselage, 1/4 inch further in, and then we'll add bolts all the way around the outside. There you go, that worked better than I expected. Right, more in a bit. I'm going to put a new blade in the scalpel. This is the 26. I'll put a new 26 in the scalpel, and we'll do it with a blade. So a fresh packet of 26s. That blade doesn't look very old, and it did seem to be quite sharp, but for this I want it to be as sharp as I can get it, so I'm going to go with a new blade and see how that goes. I'll do the front first because that's an area I've already had a go at with the cutter. Yeah, that's working reasonably well. That's cutting really cleanly, that's good. I think I was overthinking how I was going to do this. I always made a small, kind of like a bandsaw hot foam cutter. Glad I didn't bother now. Just went back to just a good old scalpel. There we go, you can see it's cut beautifully cleanly. It's not that I hadn't cut it, it was just snagged. So there we go. More scrap foam. I really am creating a big pile of wasted foam. Right, so what we'll do, we'll turn this board over, pin the plan to it, and then we'll think about how we're going to pad this out. I need to cut some 1/4 inch by 1/2 inch stock to go right round the edges. We'll build a special section here for the tailplane seat, and we'll cut another special section through here for the wing seat, and we'll see how that goes. But that, you know, is really not flimsy, but you certainly couldn't fly with that. So, but I think once we put the 1/4 around the edges, and the reason I'm putting the 1/4 around the edges rather than just laminating it is I want something to radius the edges, just to make it look a little bit nicer. Hoping 1/4 inch will be enough to radius it. It doesn't, it isn't going to look amazing, but it'll just make it look a little bit better. I'm probably just going to use an iron-on cover for this as well, so I'm not going to go mad with it. The important thing is to get this kind of finished quick. So we'll see. All right, so I'll turn the table over, and we'll start playing around with wood and stuff. So I've selected some bits of quarter. It's not really light, it's not really heavy, it's just middle of the road quarter stock. I've set my this is a Cavan stripper. I've set it to 1/2 inch, so I'm going to cut some 1/2 inch strips out of this. Easy as that. I'll do this whole sheet. Should give us 6 pieces. See how far that goes, and if need be I'll cut some more from the other sheet. 6 pieces might just do it. With a bit of luck, these will be the same thickness. They're not. You've only got to be a fraction out. I'm going to end up with one piece that's slightly thinner. It's very close, but it's not 1/2 inch. .3/32 under, so we'll not use that one unless we have to. These are all good to go. 2, 4, and we've still got 6. 2, 4, 6. Oh, it's 4 inch wide, isn't it? Oh, so we got probably more than enough there. We'll start adding those around the outside. I'm probably going to use PVA, to be honest. I was toying with using epoxy, but I'm going to use PVA because it'll give me a good joint between the wood to the wood, as well as attaching to the foam. So we'll try that. Well, I'm probably going to leave it at that for now, modelers. I've got a bit of an eye irritation, and it's possible I'm becoming a little bit allergic to sanding balsa. It happened a while back while I was working on a model, and it cleared up for a month or so, but then I've gone back to sanding some balsa, even though I didn't sand very much, just very lightly. It's irritated my eyes, and I've been out of action for a couple of days now, so I don't think this is going to get finished in time. It's a week on Wednesday, so I've got about 10 days, I suppose, before it needs to fly, and it's nowhere near, so I'm not sure I'm going to do much more with it. But it was an interesting exercise anyway, and you've got to see how to manipulate foam, how to cut it. It certainly doesn't scare me anymore, and if I do need to do something where it involves cutting foam, you know, I'm not worried at all. What I will show you is I did go as far as actually joining together some sheets of 1/8, so this is possibly wasted, to make one side, and it involves some seam joints, you know, where it's edge to edge, and I've used, there's 2.5 sheets of 1/8 gone in there. At the back here there is actually a scarf joint, which is only just dried. I'll take that side off, take that tape off. So that's a nice, fairly even joint. That'll just need a bit of sanding, but my eyes won't take it at the moment. So I'm going to investigate some full face type shield masks, and I've also got a steam eye cleaner thing to try and keep my eyes clear after I've done sanding. It's not very much, so it's a bit strange. I do have the setup with the extractor fan with the filter over the front, so I can sand with that running as well. But there was so little sawdust created from this, it was only where I did the edges just before they were butt jointed, that I'm a little bit concerned. So we'll have to see. Anyway, I'm going to leave it at that now, so hopefully you've learned a bit about cutting foam from this video, and it'll help you with your endeavours. Alright, I'll see you on the next one. Take care.